when Amazon first launched its Prime Day in 2015, it had the mid-year retail event pretty much to itself, but not anymore. Other retailers are now piggybacking off Amazon's initiative and are also hoping for a sales bonanza as they navigate Donald Trump's on-off tariffs. On Fairclough has more.
It's Amazon Prime Day, but the online giant has essentially created a second major holiday sales event for all retailers. Amazon is offering hefty discounts over the next 4 days, and having initially carved out this event for itself months before November's Black Friday, its competitors want a piece too. Traditional rivals Walmart and Target now also offer similar discounts, and all of them are counting on this event to mitigate the prospect of tariffs on imported goods that threaten to drive up costs, reduce profits, and raise consumer prices. But retailers have just been given a breather of sorts.
The big money will start coming in on August 1st. I think it was made clear today by the letters that were sent out yesterday.
US President Donald Trump confirming that he's effectively postponing tariffs on around a dozen trade partners that were due to take effect this week. Even so, Amazon remains concerned. Its first quarter results were robust, but it warned investors tariffs could hinder its second quarter performance. Owen Fairclough, CGTN, Washington.
Joining me now for more insight into the rise of summer sales events is Ryan Patel. He's a global business executive and senior fellow at the Drucker School of Management at Claremont Graduate University. Great to have you on the show tonight. Thanks for joining us. Now, how significant have Prime Days become to Amazon's bottom line? How much money is the company expected to generate this week?
Well, you would say Prime Day is no longer just a sales event, right? People look at it as an economic signal. Where Adobe Analytics projects to be around $8.8 billion during this 4-day event. That's, I mean, if it's right, it's almost $10 more billion than last year that they've made. So I think part of this Amazon Day is the extended timeline. And this, obviously, there's a seasonal demand to it at the same time. When you think about back to school, is right around the corner. So I think the shift is really huge, and they've created this culture where, you know, you have to compete around Amazon Prime Day.
Right. Now, there's growing competition, of course, in this summer sales space. Which retailer has the advantage so far, do you think, this year?
Well, I think the early spending was reportedly down nearly 14%, which I don't think it really reflects of the consumer weakness, but that people were strategically shopping. Because they're strategic shopping, you know, you think about, you know, Target Circle Week, Wayfair's 4-day blitz, obviously Walmart extended deals right now around the same time. But I would think the edge goes to the retailer outside of Amazon, goes to who is urgency, convenient, and trust, right? Where Amazon dominates in the marketplace, I think Walmart store pickup model and Target's loyalty integration kind of offers the real-time competition that Amazon is not alone. And so the longer event window gives competition room to match and not just react to it.
So what are consumers buying, and are there ways for small businesses to get in on the action?
Yeah, I mean, you think of small businesses account for over 60% of Amazon's marketplace volume. So when you think of Prime Day for them, it's really for scaling the reach. So they've got to be the smart ones planning the drop, leveraging bundles, using Amazon ad tools to get the visibility for people to buy it. So that's positioning. I think when you think of consumers, where they're buying, you know, for me, you know, the things we're seeing, you know, I think Adobe called it out early, back to school essentials, lunchboxes, kids apparels. Shoppers are focusing on value and need-based purchases, really tying back to the economy. So tech accessories, home organization, even personal care, because inflation is still top of mind, and many are still avoiding those splurges and looking to repeat use, and the budget items are looking for make it for cheaper.
And how much are the tariffs behind this? I mean, have they affected some of the particular products that are actually going on sale this year? Are they being targeted, so to speak?
Yeah, I think consumers may not see the tariff line, but I think there's a silent tax to it, right? You know, especially on importing goods, when you think about apparel, home goods, and electronics. You know, I think they're getting hit hard on the logistics. You know, we've seen reports that Amazon's stock dip, you know, I mean, well, 1.8% of the day one, partly due to the softer early sales. But, you know, that's part of the tariff anxiety too. And let's be clear, tariffs don't just impact Amazon. So there's a ripple effect through the entire retail chain. So consumers are still spending, but they're being more selective because every dollar counts now, you know, and it adds a little more friction.
So is it possible that, you know, that these sales are going on in a space where the price for the consumer hasn't changed all that much. They're simply discounting higher prices that have been boosted from tariffs.
Yeah, I think what you're seeing, what the consumer is seeing, there's a little bit of a, I guess, delta, the difference between what the actual price is and projected, where there's some items that you don't see a big difference, and other items people are buying because they think it's going to be increasing, right? And there's that play into this as well when we are in this economic aspects to it. So, I think the consumer is smarter. They can shop and they want to see real-time data, but they also know what's coming up in front. So Prime Day to me used to be a sprint. Now it's this multi-day test of pricing power, logistical strength, and at the end of the day, what consumers trust, what they want to buy.
How are shopping festivals like Prime Day compared to similar festivals in China, like Singles Day, for example?
Well, Singles Day, it's its own stratosphere, of being one of the largest ones as well. I think also the timing of that for Singles Day is later in the year, where this is kind of the middle of summer. I think Prime Day kind of, people are searching, looking into that, especially Amazon users that are in there, where Singles Day is really a kind of a festival, I guess, more of a bigger festival where there's music and celebration and a lot of volume that goes through. So I think they're similar, but they're very different in nature when it comes to holiday shopping to summer shopping.
All right, we'll leave it there. Ryan Patel, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.